Okay, well, so let's understand. Are you able to see my screen, guys? Just give me thumbs up if all can see my screen. Just request to give me an idea. Is that visible? Yes?
Yes, yes, I am.
Yeah, you can see.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So I'm good audible as well, right? You can hear me clearly. Is that everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you clear.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay. So guys, as I said you that when it comes on the cyber security, right? So there is the term called as the information security under that. So information security is a very wider word, like there's a lot of things comes in that. So it's a part of cyber security, but information security means what? Like how it works, what things is done. So if we talk about securing any asset, right? Asset, what do you mean by the asset? Asset, it can be your computer, it can be your database, it can be your network, it can be your server, it can be your applications where the business is running. That might be a chance. Or we can consider that it can be any physical asset also. It can be like, somebody is coming to your office. Like, is that the authorized person can get enter into that? Like, what type of security systems we have, what type of control system we have it, right? What type of process we have, what type of internal policy we have it, what are the external policies we have it, what are the permissions we have, what type of traffic can come over the internet, what type of traffic should we get blocked. So those all areas comes into the information security. So information security is a very wider word, which is important for us to get understand. It's a part of cybersecurity only. But when we are talking about the information security, it's all related to the data part, like how the data security can be there, how we can secure the data from the different type of attacks, what are the possible ways that the attack may happen, right? So this is happens based on there are many things are there, right? But what I want you to understand here, what I want you to understand here, there is something called as CIA triad, right? which is which is need to know about it. We call as confidentiality, integrity, and availability. This is very important thing. Like we need to understand. So what does this mean by that? What is CIA triad? What is confidentiality? Now confidentiality is nothing but we don't want any unauthorized person should be able to see the information, right? Let's say that example, you're doing some transactions, right? You got it, your credit card or debit card, you're doing some online payments or something like that. Is that okay? If that all the data is going into the plain text, it means like all can be able to see your credit card numbers when it is getting passes. If anybody can see there in the network can be able to read your number easily. Is that possible? Is that okay? Are you okay with that? Obviously, no.
No,
We
no,
don't,
okay.
right? We're not okay with that. We don't want anyone to see those information, right? There is required certain security here. That is we call as the encryption, right? We have encryptions, right? So if I say that if I'm giving you one URL which is on HTTP, let's take example. If I'm giving you a transaction to do on, there is a protocol called as a HTTP. This is the protocol where our web applications will run. It's a very common, but somebody if they not know about this, also no problem. Let's understand. Some web application is running here, like on the HTTP. So HTTP work on the port number called as an 80. This is the port number. So, but what happens here? All information which is get passes in a plain text. There is no encryption happens here. Data is a readable format. Like that's how the informations are getting transferred. So when the data is going into the plain text over the HTTP, that the port number is 80, so no one want to do any sort of transactions over these applications, right? Because your credit card, debit card, everything is into the plain text. So we never use this. This is unsecure application. So what happens if I go like these applications? Example, let's have a look on this. If I'm going to these type of applications, what informations we are getting it here? What happens if I'm trying to reach these type of applications? What informations we get it here? So if you can see that here, what it says here, it says that your connection to this website is not secure. Are you able to see that? You should not enter any sensitive information on these sites. Example, the passwords or credit card, because it can be stolen by an attacker. So if let's say that this is not secure, right? This is not secure because it's there on the HTTP. It's not there on the HTTPS. So what happens here? Let's imagine a situation. If I'm opening a Wireshark here, Wireshark has an application which is capturing the traffic, whatever the traffic or what are the transactions is happening. It's getting fast, it's going to capture those traffic here. So let's understand. So here my traffic is getting processed here. Now what I'm going to do it, I'm going to run this application. Okay. So I'm going to do some transactions. Let me do the login here straight away. Okay. I'm doing the login here. Straight as the red techgeek.com. So I put my username and I'm going to enter my password. So this is my password. I enter my password, something like this. Now I click on the login. So once I click on this login, are you able to see that my account is get logged in successfully here? Correct? Is that everyone? Yes or no?
Yeah,
Please
it's
give me
logged
the
in.
thumbs up. It's login, right? So now
Yeah.
what we are going to do is, now let's see that all the transactions is captured over these application here. Now I'm going to click on the stats. I'm going to click on the protocol hierarchy. Now, when I click on this protocol hierarchy, we have one application which I said you HTTP, right? HTTP is nothing but we call it a hypertext transfer protocol. So let me click on these protocol and select this, and all the transactions here it is happening here. Now, what is the port number we discussed here? HTTP port number 80, right? Which all the data is going into the plain text here. So the port number is 80. If you can see that here the port number is 80, and the data is going into the plain text here. Now, plain text means here there are some methods are there which is done. So I want to just quickly check that where is the information are there here. So let me have it there. Let me check the method as a put here. So we have this method called as a get and put. So we are going to target about the put method, post method, right? So here we can see that this is a post method. And here if I can show you that this is the detail. And if I click on these, are you able to see this username and password? The username is shaketechgeek.com and the password is ABC123, ABC123. Are you able to see this? Yes.
Yeah.
So it means like as already the application protocol has warned us. Here, if you can see that here it already says that your connection to this site is not secure. You should not enter any sensitive information on these sites. For example, it can be the password or it can be the credit card because it can be stolen by an attacker. These are the possibilities are there. So attackers may spoof something like that. So example, let me give you one more clear example if possible. Let's see that how it works, how you'll understand. Same while, let me know that if you are having any difficulties to understand my language or if I'm going fast, if you think like that. And all questions are important for me. There's no as in bad question or the basic question. Whatever you feel like, please feel free to ask me. The agenda should be you need to understand when you're investing your time. So after this session, you must gain some knowledge. Every session when we complete it, you should not be at the same stage. We both should learn something with this. At the conclusion is that when we end up with this session, we must have something with us. This is what my intention to deliver is. If you feel like any problem, let me know. Sam, Mohammed, Amin, Suleiman, anyone. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask me.
Okay.
So here I'm going to give you one relevant example. How the attackers may spoof, right? How the attackers may try to use kind of the process. Let me see that I have login for these or not. Sometimes it gets a problem for me. Okay.
The wild shark, you was using the
Yes.
program before.
Yes.
I was thinking just that one network engineer just use it. So
Yes,
cyber
it's a
security
network
use
engineer.
that too.
Yeah, even the cybersecurity persons also will use in order to analyze the packet or in order to analyze the sum of traffic, right? Mostly it just comes with the network capture part. Okay, it is the analysis tool for the network packet. Okay.
I see. Yeah.
Okay. Now, guys, here let's have a look on this. Now, let's have a look on these areas here. Now, let me check the IP address. It's 192.168.0.133. Okay. So, not to worry about it. All the things what I am doing it, I'll explain you step by step. Everything, each of these button, I'll explain you that. Okay. Don't worry about it. Now, here, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take you to the one application. Let's understand. Let me see that. That can be considered as a Bank of America. Let's see. So when I click on this Bank of America, I have one application here. So guys, if you see, if you have a look on this, we have these applications as a Bank of America, right? Even I have these application is also the Bank of America. Can you see this here? These are the both are same, correct or not?
Yeah, it's the same.
Yes, it's same. But when I come to these applications, what it says that if you click on these, it says that what it says the same message. You remember that your connection to this site is not secure. You should not enter any sensitive information on these sites. Like example, your password, your credit card, because it can be stolen by an attacker. The same thing if I comes to this application, and here if I click, it says that your connection is secure here. Can you see that here? Your information, for
Yeah.
example, password or credit card number is private. When you send to these websites, it's a validate. They have different type of encryptions here. There are the different type of certifications they have it for the encryption. They use the public key. They have authorized certifications. They have different type of fingerprints and like they are the different type of the security algorithms which have been using in order to encrypt these like these applications. Like whatever the data we send it, that should not be into the readable form. You getting my point, everybody? Is that clear? Yes. So what is
Yes.
this? It's called as a HTTPS. What is this? Are you able to see this here? HTTPS.
Yes. Yes.
HTTPS it means
HTTP
like it's a secure connection. It's a
security.
secure connection. So what is our discussion? The main agenda comes here. So when I'm using the HTTPS, this is called as a secure communications which is happening. That's on the port number 443. HTTPS always work on the port number 443. So here what happens? All the secure communications happens. The data which is sending, it's are getting into an encryption. There is an encrypted data will be sent, which is not readable by the any other person. You getting my point? So this is how the possibilities are there in order to make sure that the data, whatever we have it, like whatever the informations we are getting it. So that information should be have the confidentiality. Only the authorized person should be able to get an access to those information. Unauthorized person should not be able to get an access to that. That is we call as a confidentiality. Is that clear? You got my point, this one, everyone? See confidentiality. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's clear.
Now let's come to the integrity. Now, what do you mean by the integrity? Integrity means the data should not be get modified. Only the authorized person should be able to modify this data. Unauthorized person should not modify any type of information. Let's take example. If I'm going to these applications or somewhere, like let's say that if I'm going to the Amazon here, let's understand that. If I'm going to the Amazon, so if I'm going to the Amazon here, if I want to purchase something, let's say that I want to purchase this job streak or something like that. Okay. So when I'm going to purchase this, how much it cost me? It cost me, let's say that something as 2,119 rupees, something like this. So can I be able to change the price of this? Is that possible? Is that can I make this as 2 rupees? Can I make this as 10 rupees? Or can I be able to modify this information? Obviously no. Because I'm not the authorized person to modify this data. I don't have the privilege to modify these data. So it means like it maintain the integrity of it. If it is get modified, they get a notification. They get understand because they maintain the hashing here. So that is the vulnerability. So there are the different ways are there, like, in order to find out those vulnerabilities or modifications. Example, let me show you. Let me give you one example about the hashing first. So I can tell you the simple way of the modification. MD5 encryption. Let me just give you one example here. I'll give you the live example so you'll understand very clearly. Okay. So here I'm just typing this. I am ethical hacker. So I have just typed I am ethical hacker here, if you can see that. Because I'm generating these text here. So while I'm sending these information, this is my string. Okay, the I am ethical hacking. For these, I got one hash value. This is my hash value here. MD5 hash value, you can see that. Or SHA-211, something like that. So here, what I want you to understand that, I want you to understand that whatever the data we are sending it. So this is the hash value for our data, right? What is that data? The data is I am ethical hacker. Now, see guys, if any modifications done on this, I request somebody to please mute your call. Okay. Okay, let's understand. Here, if somebody have modified these data, so this complete hash value gets changed. Even, okay, if I'm modifying this data, something like this here. Can you see this here? The same data, I'm making one space more. Can you see this here? Only one space between these, right? One is extra space. Can you see this, the difference? Yes.
Yeah.
We made it very tiny, like, changes here. So we made it only one space here, but if I check this, the hash value of these, like, what we have made it a change. So let me put this change and search. I got the same MD5. I'll copy this same MD5, but these MD5 is different than the above MD5. Let's see that. Let me paste this. So here you can see that the complete value got changed, correct? Yes or no? Are you getting the point? So this is called as an hashing. If any data modified, whatever it may be, even if we make it the same thing, this only we made it H is as an uppercase. Everything is similar, but this will give a sign that there is the data modifications happen. There is a data lack of integrity. We can say that. Okay. So if you can see that I just made it H is as an uppercase, even though if I can check these, the entire data is got changed here. So this file is completely different. You can see the 3 different files we got it. So the hashing is not matching. Which is our original hash value? The middle one, right? Correct? This one our original value, right? The first one, right?
Yeah.
So the hashing can be able to protect our data. So it means like if any modifications happen, that will be able to see with the help of these methods here. So integrity is nothing but which is used to maintain the data authenticity, right? So that is we call authentication is different, authenticity is different. We'll discuss more detail about that. Okay. As if now we'll go with this, but I'll talk more on these parts in detail. So here we can see that we got an integrity and the confidentiality. If any modification is that we call as an integrity. So these modifications can happen to any other services, right? That we can understand. Confidentiality is also the similar. Now comes to the availability. Now, what does it mean by the availability? Availabilities are nothing but your service is available. Like, let's say that example. We have a secure service. We have a secure service on Amazon. Let's take example. In a very simple way, we have one applications like in Amazon here. So this is a secure service and we are there the Amazon services. So it is maintaining the it's maintaining the confidentiality as well as it maintains integrity also. There's no modification. It's secure, but it's not available. It's not available. Then what you're going to do it as a customer? Just I want you to understand from your guys. Let's imagine a situation. We have a secure application as an Amazon. We know that the data is very confidential. There's no integrity happen. There's no modifications happen. So while you're going to these type of like applications to do the shopping, if that application is down, what you're going to do? Are you going to wait the application to get up, or are you going to switch to the alternate services?
You change alternate method.
Sorry,
You change.
We switch
change.
to another. We switch to another.
Correct, correct. So we're going to switch to the what services available. So availability also plays major roles in the security when we talk about it, because not only your service should be confidential, secure. You should not have confidentiality, integrity, but also it should be required the availability. What is the use of confidentiality or availability if the service is not available? You getting the point, everybody? The
Yes.
people will make money, the people will get business, the people will get process to be done when the service is available, right or not?
Yes. Yes. Right.
So the three are the major pillar while we are designing any sort of security here. So this is not just a small part of area. Everywhere, if we talk about it, it's a major principle. This is a major pillar of a security whenever we design. Either you design the compliance policies, either we talk about endpoint security, network security, data security, cloud security, all is applicable. Everywhere there is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Based on that, where the information will be. Correct? Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I say, there are the different type of attackers are there, hackers are there, right? So I would like to take you to very simple ways. There are the three type of hackers are there, as if now. There are more of them, right? We talk about that other letter classes, but let's understand here. With a very simple introduction, we have white hat hackers, black hat hackers, and the gray hat. Now I'll give you very simple definitions here. The white hat hackers are the good guys. You and me are been as in white hat hackers. We are going to protect an organization asset. Our intention to maintain the security for an asset that should not be get exploited by the internal or external team. That is we call it in white hat hacker. So we always have our skill set in order to protect. That is called the white hat hackers. The black hat hackers are nothing but the cyber criminals that are they design always different type of attacks, different type of malicious code, suspicious links, suspicious malwares, right? Different type of payloads that are going to inject on the target system in order to get an access to that. So black hat hackers always will be considered as an attacker, which always try to gather the information or gather the data for their personal gain. That's how the black hat hackers do. Now, who are the gray hat hackers? Gray hat hackers like a cat on the wall. Can we pretend like where it's going to be jump, right, left? It depends upon the circumstance, it depends upon the conditions and the mindset. So gray hat hackers are the border between white and black. We don't know where it's going to be jumped. Either it can be the white or black. It depends upon the conditions. So they also the similar way. If they find the vulnerabilities on a particular application, first of all, they are not authorized to check the vulnerabilities on any other applications until unless the owner given the permission. But even though they find out the vulnerabilities, so they can go to the owner and tell about those vulnerabilities, or they can put into the public, or they can misuse and they can convert into the black. That is also possibilities are there. So hacking as a professional, and there are the different type of attackers may attack. Now, if I say you the type of hackers, what are those? As I said you, white hat hackers. Who are these guys? So white hat hackers are the good guys. They are the ethical hackers. They use their hacking skill for the defensive system. They have the genuine license focus on penetration testing. They never use their skill for illegal purpose. They improve the security for organizations. Black hat hackers are nothing but the cyber criminals, as I said you that they exploit the vulnerabilities for their personal gain. They have only one motive to make it the huge profit. They have a skill set for the personal, they make it all their personal gain They hack the bank, trade credit card, personal information, placing different type of malware. Gray hat hackers are like, they disclose the security to the flaws to the public. So it can be standard between the ethical or unethical. It depends upon the condition. So reason either it can be ethical or it can be unethical, depending upon the conditions and the circumstance at their hand where these attacks happen. This is how the white hat hackers, black hat hackers, and gray hat hackers will be there. So if we see that, let's say that example. Now let's come to the very important concept. Attacks happens with a different way. So we have a different team here, right? Let's say that we have the HR team, like sales team, accounting team, finance team, marketing team. We have like, IT, information technology team, like developers are there, front end, full stack, test engineer. The people are like, skill set with the Python, Java, .NET, and so other applications we have. We have the IT infrastructure team, which is like system team, network team, which design the entire network architecture. They'll see what are the network devices are there, how it can be get placed, what are the different databases they have. So that all comes into the IT infrastructure. We have like, the IT security team. So that will be considered like IAM team, endpoint security team, vulnerability assessment team, network security team. So this is very important. So they are going to protect the entire asset, like, based on their job rules. So endpoints like computers, like, any other workstations, all those. I am there into the, like, authorizations, accountability. They're into identity access management, finding out the vulnerabilities, that is a vulnerability assessment team, network securing, like, network security team will be there. We have like, the backbone of any team, that is a SOC team, the security analyst. They're going to use the same tools. They're going to use a different automation tools like SOAR, threat intelligence, in order to mitigate, detect, and respond to the cybersecurity incident if it is happening. This is how the teams are. So in a very simple way, there is a coordination of entire team with these parts. Let me give you an example here. I want to relate with the civil engineer here. Very simple way. Can you tell me that what exactly the civil engineer will do in a very simple way? What is the job role of this person?
He
Anyone?
will manage end-to-end process of construction.
If they're involved in the constructions, right? Sam, are you agree with that? Sam, Benoro, are you there? Abdullah?
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So we know that, like, when we talk about the civil engineer, it's been involved with the different things for the construction. Like, he will be interacting with, like, the architect. He will be interacting with the masons. He will be interacting with, like, electricians. They have been interacting with the, like, technical, like, we can say like tile workers, plumbers,
Yes.
electricians, painters, and so on. So in a very simple way, there's need of coordinations with these people. If they don't have the coordinations with these people, like, the according to the plan, according to the process, what they have designed, it will not go according to that. The constructions will not happen according to the, like, what they have planned. So the similar way, if I take about it, the security related concept here, we have a cyber security team. So there is a cybersecurity expert team which is designed the entire process for that. So these teams need to have a proper coordination. So the coordinations with the HR teams, like, what exactly the HR teams are doing it. What are, like, marketing team is doing it. What are, like, the network team is doing. What is the finance team is doing, and so on. So overall, the security team, which not only focus on the external threat, but also the threat may happen or attack may happen from the inside. Insider, it means like these are the team here, like, where we can see that. So these team will be considered as the HR team or marketing team or any other team. There might be lack of awareness, maybe intentionally, maybe accidentally. The attack may happen, right? So that need to be have, like, correct way in order to mitigate and perform the security step for these businesses. So whatever the transactions happen, there will be a team which are going to take care of the entire system. Like, how does it work? what are things is happens, like, how we're going to mitigate those areas comes into the cybersecurity. So if we'll see that there are the different team we have, like we have the system team, network team, we have endpoint security team, we have like network security team, information security team, SOC team, SOC security operations center, application developer, database team, IT help desk, cloud team. We can see that the virtualization team, we have vulnerability assessment team, right? We have IAM team, identity access management team. So this is are the several teams which can be considered. Now these teams have a different job role. So I'll tell you very straight away. System team and the network team, we know that. So these teams are there into the provide a solution to our workstation. That can be a IT team we can consider. It related to the problem like an hardware, software. If any issues happen, there is an IT team are there which are going to support us, going to work on it. So they install all the operating system, maintain the operating system. They do the imaging, like they install the images based on the instructions from the cyber security team. What type of operating system they can recommend it, what type of application they need to be get installed, what are like the process are there, what type of operations they're going to do it. So they're going to install those, they're going to maintain some servers, email servers, database servers, file servers. This is how the system team will work. In a very simple way, it's a desktop engineer or system engineer. We know that, like, they're going to support us for installing the applications or taking care of the desktop systems. Now, what next? The next we have the network team. Network team means like, in an organization, there will be a network and there are the several different data sets will be there. There are the different assets will be there, right? So here we can see that the planning and designing the entire network architecture, like, how the internet should be there, what the routers are there, what are like, the firewalls are there, what are the different type of devices, like, switches that can be the other endpoints that can be getting added. So there are the several different network components are there, like how that can be get designed. So while we are installing this network, the installation team will be there. These installation teams are maintaining the network devices like routers, switches that will be considered as an access point, or that can be like the network devices. So there are like, the wired connections, wireless connections, whatever we have. So the network team will design these networks here. Now, after this comes the security team. Now, what do you mean by the endpoint? Anybody have heard about this endpoint anytime? Suleiman, Sam,
No.
Muhammad? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you tell me that?
As of my knowledge, endpoint security means it will secure the network from end to end. Means
Okay.
they will block the any malicious activities in network.
Okay. No issues. I'll tell you. Fine. See, let's understand. When I say the endpoints are nothing but the end devices. Example, if we have a HR team, sales team, design team, marketing team, all those. So they're going to work on the workstation, correct? Yes or no? Windows based, Linux based, Mac based. Are they going to work on these systems, right? So when I say the endpoints are nothing but the user machines. That can be a server, that can be a printer, that can be a laptop, that can be a desktop, any computer, okay? Protecting these devices on the network is very important. So installing and configuring all the endpoint security solutions. So what are those endpoint security solutions can be there? Example like antivirus. On the computer, that's an endpoint that must be have an antivirus because the malicious software, the malicious applications or files or payloads should not be getting into. They have the host-based firewalls, right? Host-based firewall means like every computer have their own firewall also. Let's take example here. If I'm going to my system here as a control panel, over these, I believe you're able to see this, right? Are you able to see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So here into the next systems and security, I can see that the Windows Defender firewall. So these Windows Defender firewalls have like, the protection to our network here. So it's going to protect our PC with these firewall here. So this is called as a host-based firewall. Now, if I click on these settings here, if I'm clicking on these settings, I can be able to see there are the several informations comes here. Like, what are the inbound connections are allowed. So here you can see the list of applications that allow or blocked here. Can you see this here? So we have allow list as well as block. If you can see that, this is the block. This is allowed, right? So we can see that what are the services is allowed or these services we want to block. So we can do that system as well. We can click and we can take an action. I want to change the action. I want to make these action as a block here. So we can do that. Can you see that here? The option here. Are you able to see this, everyone?
Yeah. So is this websites you're allowing and blocking?
No. This is a host-based firewall. Okay. So the rule. This is the device. What type of the server? What type of the services we are talking about it. Okay. So it's the name, policies, or anything. You can even say something. I don't want to get an access with other applications. So that will get blocked. You getting my point?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're part of the network engineer, these people, and security team.
Network security team. It's not the network team, but network security team. Okay. So network security team will do into the the security related system. Network team will do into the fault management system. They're into the identify any type of misconfigurations, server overload. Okay. If any device gets failed. So those are the major areas. They design the architecture of the network, right? They concern with the network security team also. They set up the network devices also, but kind of security will be taken care by the network security team. Got it?
Yeah, you don't need to work as a network engineer, then come to the security team.
Correct.
You don't have to do that, yeah?
Yes, we don't need to do anything with the network, but we must have to understand about how does the network work. The reason why, because the attack happens on network, right? While you're investigating of any type of attack or any type of the IP address or any type of protocol.
Yeah, that's the basic. Yeah, that's the basic one.
That's the basic one, which we must need to know that. Okay. So this is how the host-based firewalls will be there. We have we have intrusion prevention systems. We have disk encryption, DLP, we call it the data loss prevention method. What data should get in, what data should get out, how the information will be get protected, what type of informations are going it, what type of attachments are there, which attachment is allowed on the network, which attachment is not allowed in the network, all those things, right? So that is can be there. We have EDR, we call it the endpoint protections here, right? Endpoint detections and response here. So EDRs again is very important for us to get understand, how we're going to manage the security of any other assets here. So what type of informations are getting passed? What is a known thread, unknown thread, everything, which can be considered with the help of the endpoint, endpoint detections and response here. That is EDR. Will be considered as the next generation antivirus. We'll discuss more detail about it. This is just a basic introduction where you'll understand, okay, this is how the endpoint will be there. Now, what happens if I'm going for the network security? So when we talk about the network security team, so they protect the entire network. They install, they configure, they maintain the network security solutions that will be related to the firewalls, that will be related to IDS, IPS, we call it the intrusion prevention system, intrusion detection systems. We have web gateways, email gateways. We have the wireless security. We have the web services that specially designed in order to protect web applications here, right? How the applications can be get protected. The web services, cloud-based, on-premises based, right? There are different products are there that will be added to it. That's how the network security can be maintained. So there are the several other teams are there. We'll discuss more detail, how those teams have been working. So this is the method where the entire process will be taken place here. Okay. So this is just a basic introduction to today's session, which I try to give you a basic understanding how the systems work, what are things get involved. If we have been talking about the security, what are the main aspects are there? We'll discuss step by step onto it. So initially, we'll have some theoretical concept to get understand before we start the practical. You got my point, everybody? Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So before I end this session, I would like to spend some time with I love to answer some questions if you have it. Like, if any questions, if you have, you want to, ask some specific topic or related to, the subject, what we have done today. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ask. It's all good, everyone?
Yeah. So the practice, when we're going to do? Another day?
Yeah. See, Abdullah, I'll tell you. Initially, when we start this, right? So straight away, if I'll open, please understand, while many of people think getting an hands-on tool is still process of getting a job or getting an hands-on on practical scenario, that is the job. Yes, of course, that helps. But until unless your basic is not strong, until unless you not understand what does it mean by the data security, information security, you'll be connected with a single tool. What tool we get to understand, that only you can be able to work. Apart from that, you don't have much opportunities while we're going for a job. So what is our focus will be there? Our focus is that we try to take a global standard knowledge. It's not specific to the particular tool or the particular topic. You're getting my point? We'll understand the complete concept, not only just a theoretical concept. We'll do a lot of practical systems. We'll create a lab, we'll do the practice, we'll understand things, we'll do the setup, we'll talk on the deployment side, how the procurement happens, how the deployment happens, how the other things happen, everything. We'll discuss in detail about it, okay? But first, need to understand some basic concepts. What is security? What is logs? What type of logs are there? What are the assets we can collect the logs, right? What information we get from those logs? Are you getting my point? What is SIM? What is SOC?
Yeah.
What exactly the role will be there? What do you mean by the compliance? What are the standard compliance will be there? So I'm going to spend some time to get this knowledge, right from networking. Initially we talk some basic to the security. Then I'll take some on the networking concept where you need to understand the network, which is very important. Then we'll start the cyber security. Got my point? So this is from scratch to advanced. So I want you, once you're done with this session, you don't require, when you complete this course, wallahi, I don't want you to be ready for the another job, like another course for it. You should get everything with this course. This is our intention. Got it?
Yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah. So, all right. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening to me. And Sam, is that all okay? Are you there with me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm
Yeah.
good.
How's the session? Is that you have any doubt?
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot to take in, but it's quite interesting. And well done the way you break it all, the way you broke it all down.
Sure. Thanks. All right. So Suleiman, you have any doubt? Mohammed, if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask me.
No, Sheikh, I don't have from today's class. If in future I will ask.
Perfect.
Because today is the basic.
Yeah, very basic. Very basic.
That's why we don't have any doubt.
Yes, exactly. All right, correct. So thank you very much, everybody. So see you in the next session tomorrow at the same time with the same link. If anything change, you'll get update from my team, and we'll continue. Right? Till that, take care. Bye, everybody. Good day.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.